Hello viewers, welcome to finite element analysis. In this video lecture, we are going to see a problem related to temperature effect, one-dimensional FA problem. The given problem statement is an axial load P equal to 300 into 10 power 3 Newton is applied at 20 degree Celsius to the rod as shown in the figure. The temperature is then raised to 60 degree Celsius. We have to formulate the global stiffness matrix and global force vector matrix. Then determine the nodal displacement and element stresses. The finite element formulation, we will deal this which here as an one-dimensional problem. Using two elements, the length of the element 1 is 200 mm, the length of the element 2 is 300 mm. We obtain the finite element model is as shown in the figure. Nodes and element are numbered as shown in the figure. Nodal point, the red color will be indicate the nodal points, that's called node 1, node 2, node 3, element is 1 and 2. This is the given data for this problem. Young's modulus is 70 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. Area of the element 1 is 900 millimeter square. Thermal coefficient is 23 into 10 power minus 6 per degree Celsius. Element 2 Young's modulus is 200 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. Area of the element 2 is 1200 millimeter square. The alpha 2 is thermal expansion is 11.7 into 10 power minus 6 per degree Celsius. So we have to first step, we have to convert the unit throughout the problem is uniformly. The length is given millimeters, area also will be given in millimeters. So the Young's modulus is we have to convert it into a Newton per millimeter square. So the multiplication factor is 10 power minus 6. 70 into 10 power 9 into 10 power minus 6, 9 minus 6, 3. So finally we obtain the Young's modulus for element 1 is 70 into 10 power 3 Newton per millimeter square. Similarly, we have to convert the Young's modulus for element 2 is 200 into 10 power 3 Newton per millimeter square. We will start with calculating the stiffness matrix K, 1 for element 1. The stiffness matrix K equal to AE divided by L, 1 minus 1, 1. A is the area of the element, E is Young's modulus of the element, L is length of the element. The formula for this K1 is A1, E1, L1, 1, minus 1, 1. Now we will substitute all those values. Young's modulus for element 1 is 70 into 10 power 3. Area of the element is 900 mm square. The length of the element 1 is 200 mm. Now we will get the final matrix for element 1 is 315 into 10 power 3, 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. After that we have to indicate the global nodal points. The element 1 is node 1 and 2 nodal points. The displacement we have to the global number we have to indicate in the matrix column and row. The next we calculating the stiffness matrix for K2 for element 2. The formula for this K2 is A2 E2 divided by L2, 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. Substitute all those value of Young's modulus for element 2 is 200 into 10 power 3. Area of the element 2 is 1200 mm square. Then length of the element 2 is 300 mm. Multiplied, we will get the final matrix as is for K2 is 800 into 10 power 3, 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. The element 2 is nodal point 2 and 2 indicate the global number of degree of freedom, that is 2, 3, 2 and 3. Column and row we have to indicate in the final stiffness matrix equation. Then the element stiffness matrix for element 1, stiffness matrix for element 2, the common constant value is 10 power 3, we can take it outside of the matrix. So 315 into 1, 315 minus 350 minus 350, 350. So the constant value we have to multiply the 2 cross 2 matrix. Finally, we obtain the stiffness matrix for element 1. Similarly, the K2 is the common constant value is 10 power 3 is taking outside of the matrix. 800 we have to multiply it inside the 2 cross 2 matrix. We finally we obtain the values 800 minus 800 minus 800, 800. Carefully you have to indicate the global numbers, that is degree of freedom. Node 2 is connected with nodal point 2 and 3. The global stiffness matrix K is assembled from K1 and K2. First, write down the global numbers, that is the degree of freedom according to your problem. Degree of freedom we have to indicate to node 1, node 2, node 3, 1 and 2 corresponding column and row we have to indicate clearly, then assemble the stiffness matrix. The corresponding row and column values we have to carefully position inside the global stiffness matrix. 10 power 3 is common for both matrix, so taking outside of the matrix, then 3 cross 3 based on the degree of freedom your global matrix size will be determined. The global first stiffness matrix K1 is similar same constant values, you can put it inside the global stiffness matrix. 350 minus 350 minus 350, then 350. Then element 2 stiffness matrix, then 2 and 2 corresponding row and column. So the nodal point 2 will be connected with node element 1 and element 2. That's why 315 plus 800 minus 800 minus 800, 800. Add this value 350 plus 800. Finally, we are getting a global stiffness matrix K for 10 power 3. The equation final stiffness matrix is 10 power 3, 3 cross 3 matrix. I will show you a demonstration on calculator how to calculating the stiffness matrix. Watch carefully. The next step we have to calculate. Wait. The next step we have to calculate the force vectors for element 1 and element 2. Equation for thermal load vector calculation is Young's modulus into area and thermal coefficient and delta T. The nodal point shape function is -1. Delta T is the final temperature is 60. The initial temperature is 20. So 60 minus 20, 40 degrees Celsius. The remaining given data for element 1 and element 2 is in this problem. I noted here. Substitute all those value of Young's modulus for element 1, 70 into 10 power 3. Area of the element 1 is 900 into alpha 1 is 23 into 10 power minus 6. Delta T is 40. Minus 1 and 1. We will get the final thermal load vector for element 1 is 10 power 3 minus 57.96. We have to indicate the degree of freedom or global number. So 1 and 2 element nodal point element 1 it connected with node 1 and node 2. Similarly, we have to calculate the element thermal load vector for element 2. Same equation we have to use. Substitute those value of Young's modulus for element 2 is 200 into 10 power 3 into area of the element 2 is 1200 millimeter square and alpha 2 is 11.7 into 10 power minus 6 into delta T is 40. Simplified this constant value is 10 power 3 minus 112.32 112.32. The element 2 is the nodal point is 2 and 3. So degree of freedom we have to indicate for the element 2 thermal load vectors. Next step is we have to formulate the global force vector. Combine those element 1 force vector and element force vector to F equal to F1 plus F2. So the both force vector common constant value is 10 power 3 is put it outside of the vectors. So minus 57.96. Next for element 2 forces it is nodal point 2. So minus 112.32 plus 300. This 300 is the load is acting at nodal point 2 in towards to right hand direction, that is positive sign will come. So plus 300. Then node point 3 is 112.32. Combine this value is 245.64. So finally we obtain the final thermal load vector is for given problem is 10 power 3 minus 57.96, 245.64, 112.32 Newton. I will show you a demonstration on calculator how to calculating a thermal load vector. Watch carefully. The next step is formulation of system of equation. The finite element equation are given by global stiffness matrix into global displacement vector equal to global force vectors. Assemble the global stiffness matrix 10 power 3 into 3 cross 3 matrix. Rewrite the value from earlier calculation. Then displacement vectors u1, u2, u3. So u1 is the nodal point 1 and nodal point 3 is fixed. So u1 is 0, u3 is 0. That is called boundary condition we have to apply in this system of equation. Only we have to determine the displacement at nodal point 2. The next global force vector is 10 power 3 into minus 57.96, 245.64, 112.32. The elimination approach will now be used to solve for the displacement since degree of freedom 1 and 3 are fixed. So the first and third row and column of global stiffness matrix K together with the first and third component of global force vectors are deleted. The result of scalar equation is shown in the slide. So based on this elimination approach, corresponding row and column we have to eliminate. The first row and first column eliminate. Then similarly the third row and third column is eliminate. Then 10 power 3 is both side is constant, so we can eliminate. Final element simultaneous equation is 1 1 1 5 u2 equal to 245.64. 245.64 divided by 1115 equal to 0.22 mm. The stress in each element can now be determined from the equation sigma as shown below. In evaluating element stress, we have to use the thermal stress sigma equal to Young's modulus change in length divided by original length minus Young's modulus into thermal coefficient alpha into temperature difference delta T. The delta T value is 60 minus 20 40 degrees Celsius. This data is for element 1, this is element 2 data, given data. So displacement is U1 is 0, U2 is 0.22 millimeter, U3 is 0. For element 1 is sigma equal to Young's modulus for element 1 is 70 into 10 power 3 change in length divided by original length. So we consider the Uj. Uj means n node of displacement, that is Ui means initial node of element divided by L is length of the element. So U2 is 0.22 millimeter, U1 is 0, L1 is length of the element 200 mm minus Young's modulus is value of E1 is for element 1 is 70 into 10 power 3, alpha 1 is 23 into 10 power minus 6, delta T is 40 equal to 12.60 megapascal. We are obtained the value of element stress. One is 12.60 megapascal. The same procedure, same equation we have to use for determination of element stress for element 2, sigma 2, Young's modulus for element 2 is 200 into 10 power 3, then change in length divided by original length, that is displacement is n node of displacement is U3, that U3 minus U2, U3 is 0, nodal point 3 is fixed, so 0, U2 is minus 0.220 divided by length of the element is 300, so minus Young's modulus of element 2 200 into 10 power 3, alpha 2 is 11.7 into 10 power minus 6 and delta T is 40. Substitute those all the given values. So finally we are obtained the element stress for element 2 is sigma 2 is minus 240.27 megapascal. The positive and negative sign will be indicate that tensile stress and compressive stress. I will show you a demonstration on calculator how to calculating the element stress. Watch carefully. I will summarize the problem steps. First step, model the axial stepped bar with two finite elements. Write down the expression for the element stiffness matrix and element thermal load force vectors. Assemble the structural stiffness matrix K and global force vectors F. Using the elimination approach, solve the global displacement vectors U. The final step is evaluate the thermal stress in each element. Thank you for watching my video.